right here. There he is, the one and only Isiah Thomas in the house. Wow, this is something. Let me stand up for Mr. Isiah Thomas here. How are you, my friend? Thank you so much. Please sit down. Isiah Thomas, you want to wear these? Sure, go ahead. You don't have to. Hello? We're just live right here, okay?
I don't know how I can follow Teddy.
Oh, my God. Teddy Atlas is something else.
He breaks it down,
Let me put
right?
this down. Are you a fight fan, Isiah?
I'm a fight fan, and the way he breaks it down and the way he gives it to you, I mean, you think after Teddy has given it to you, like you know what you're talking
That's
about.
right. I said he's one of the best analysts, period. Not boxing, sports in general.
Absolutely.
He breaks it down.
Yeah.
So do you appreciate MMA as well, or are you more of a boxing?
Yeah.
You watch MMA?
I do.
Really? I'm
do.
surprised.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
I don't know. I don't know like all the names.
Yeah.
To call them out.
Sure.
But the sport has grown.
Right.
And not only has it grown, but I love the way they've incorporated the gender aspect of it,
Great point.
Male and the female.
That's right.
And everybody is fighting. Everybody's in great shape. And the respect they have for each other in the ring, outside of the ring, when the fight is a fight.
Sure.
But at any point in time, they can really, really hurt each other.
Yeah.
So they beat each other up, they hurt each other, but they don't kill each other.
Yes.
So it's a fine line, and I admire the way that they're able to hold back when they can really go for the jugular.
It's a great point as far as how the genders are on equal footing, because you are the president of the New York Liberty, right?
Yes.
And right now, if ABC had a doubleheader, Cavs, Warriors, followed up by the Liberty and the Sparks.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, people don't view the WNBA like they do the NBA. It hasn't been around as long, but here in this sport, MMA, you can have a great card, all males, 2 women at the top, and no one bats an eye. They are on equal footing. So hopefully one day that'll be the case for basketball
awesome.
as well.
And what MMA is doing for the WNBA, just in terms of sport, by being so out front with it,
empowering.
Right? It's definitely helping the WNBA. It's making more women and more people come to our sport and view our sport on an equal footing.
Can we get a prediction? Who do you think wins, Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather?
I'm hoping Mayweather wins.
Okay,
this
why?
is why I hope he wins, because he's always been supportive of myself.
Okay.
He's always been supportive of the NBA.
Yes.
I mean, he shows up at the All-Star games. He comes to all the events. He's sitting courtside. So, he's always given us love, and he's always given me, myself personally, love. So when I look at the fight, I look at it and I say, okay, McGregor comes in and, he's used to having 8 weapons, right? His 2 feet, his knees, elbows, But now you've eliminated 6 of those weapons. So he's only got his right hand and his left hand that he gets to work with.
Yeah.
And Floyd is used to working with his right hand, left hand. So in terms of punching, slipping punches, so forth and so on, I do think that Floyd has the advantage. Now, the one disadvantage that Floyd will enter into the ring with is that the first 2 to 3 rounds, when you fighting somebody or playing against somebody in a basketball standpoint that you never played against,
sure,
you don't know what this guy can do. You don't know if he's good going left. You don't know if he's good going right.
That's right.
So the first 2 rounds, I think it's going to be interesting to see if Floyd can figure them out.
Great analysis. I wasn't expecting that kind of analysis from you, and I appreciate it very much. And you may not expect this from me. I'm a basketball aficionado. I cover this fighting stuff, but my true love, number one, is basketball.
Awesome.
I remember 1984, you and Bernard King at the Silverdome.
Yeah.
I remember the finals when you had the bum ankle and you're hopping around. One of the greatest.
Right.
I remember when the Dream Team pushed you out.
Yeah.
And I thought that was BS.
Yeah.
I thought that was BS. And of course,
I remember that too.
I remember it. And it wasn't cool that they did that. But you came back for the next Dream Team, but it wasn't cool that they did that. So I've been following your career in basketball for years and years. And I must say, I am a diehard. And when I say diehard, I will go toe-to-toe with Spike any day. I'm the biggest Knicks fan on the planet.
Yeah.
So I've been following you with the Knicks for quite some time.
You know what I love about the Knicks fans?
Okay.
It's just what you just said. You would go toe-to-toe with Spike, in terms of who the biggest fans. I have never been in a place where people are so passionate about their team.
Yes.
And love the Knicks so much that to the point where physically they get ill, they get angry, and they really want the Knicks to win. They really want their team to win. And I can tell you this, now that I've been in New York for a long period of time now, I understand.
Oh my gosh.
I understand that passion. I understand that love, and even the mean things that are said, they're still said from a loving place because they just want you to win. Like you just want the team to win.
There's a wound in my heart right now. The past 17 years have not been great.
Yeah.
There have been some moments here and there.
But you know what? That wound, 17 years not been there. The most impressive thing that I see about Knicks fans, and I've experienced this being the president of the Knicks.
Please, yes, I know.
We have no shot at making the playoffs.
Yes. You mean this year or in general?
No, this is when
okay, yeah.
3 minutes to go in the game. We're in April.
Yeah.
Maybe like 5 games left in the season. The whole stadium gets up and start chanting defense.
You live and breathe it.
I mean, I love it. It's the most surreal, beautiful moment. One of the most surreal, beautiful moments I've ever experienced.
I have to say, and I'd love to get your take on this, I was thrilled when Phil Jackson left. I think Phil Jackson was the worst thing to ever happen to the Knicks. I think how he treated Carmelo Anthony publicly was disgraceful. I think how he treated Kristaps Porzingis, the future, was disgraceful. Do you agree? Do you agree that he did a pitiful job as president of the New York Knicks?
I would say this. There have been a lot of us that have come through New York that want to do well.
Sure.
And, for whatever reason, we didn't do well. And I look at Phil, before he got to New York, how he's respected in the game. And that's the Phil Jackson I choose to remember. And that's on the real, because I do know,
but to publicly shame Carmelo out like that, and to devalue him, and to say what he said about Kristaps, listen, you may not have the best.
You got to give Carmelo a lot of credit, though.
Oh my gosh, my respect for him.
The professionalism that
he could have
has
taken
shown
some shots
through all of this, and that's the thing that you may not understand this when I'm saying.
All right.
That's the thing that we love about New York, because it really does bring out the best in you as a person. Because you really do get pushed to the wall in terms of trying to figure out how to win, how to put it together, and how to satisfy the fan base. And that's why we all try so hard, and that's why we all want to crack that egg, just like you as a fan, right? Believe me, Phil Jackson, myself, Donnie Walsh, Larry Brown, all of us go back and try to figure out man, what did we do wrong? And if we could do it all over again, what would we do different?
Do you
just
have
like
regrets?
You as a fan.
Do you have regrets?
We all have regrets, because when you don't win, of course there's regrets.
Now, do you think that Carmelo will be in a Knicks uniform come October?
I don't know, but I
would you trade him at this point?
I do know as a man and as a former player, and watching him handle this, I got great respect
as
for
do I.
how he's handled it, and what he's done. I'm not enough involved in the inner workings to say if I would trade him, keep him, or not.
Okay.
I think only Steve Mills or Scott Perry can answer that question, because they have more information than I do. But I know as a basketball player and a former player, all of us admire his skill.
I couldn't agree more. I read a lot of the New York papers, of course, and respected columnists like Frank Isola.
Yeah.
They seem to believe that you are still very much involved with the Knicks. That behind the scenes you have James Dolan's ear, that you speak to him, that you give him advice, that there's always a connection. Scott Perry with Detroit, right? I know my stuff, Isaiah. Are you still involved with the Knicks?
I'm involved with the Liberty.
That's
so
it.
If you
Exclusive?
want to talk about the Liberty,
yes,
and you want to talk about the great year we're having,
you are having a great year.
And by the way, come buy some tickets.
All right. At the Garden.
Buy some tickets. I mean, the last 3 years that we've had with the Liberty, have been some of the most successul seasons ever. Our fan attendance is up.
Doesn't get talked enough. Doesn't get talked about enough. The job that you've done with the Liberty.
But that's okay.
We just talk about the good and the bad.
Yeah, but when we're doing extremely well right now, and I would say if you want to see some good basketball, definitely come to the Garden and watch the Liberty.
You didn't answer the question there about James, about having his ear as far as the Knicks are concerned. He trusts you. He likes you a lot.
Really.
You're friends.
I said I talked to him about the Liberty.
That's it.
I don't speak to him about the Knicks. No.
Why?
It's not.
Just as friends.
Yeah,
advice.
But I respect authority, and I respect lines of authority.
Okay.
And it would be inappropriate of me and not respectful of me to whoever is in that job to voice my opinion
Fair
on the
enough.
Knicks. Now, when I'm on NBA TV or
Yeah,
TNT,
you do a great job.
then I can do that. But from a personnel standpoint or a strategic standpoint, that's not my place, and I have to respect those lines of authority.
Would you like to be an executive again in the NBA?
I don't know.
Is that a dream?
I don't know. I'm really having a good time in
With the Liberty?
what I'm doing.
Yep.
But you never say never. So I would have to answer that. I don't know.
Okay. Can you tell us about what you're promoting here today? What do you have here?
I partnered with MGM.
Okay.
And MGM, we're introducing our line of champagne, Sherline champagne. We've been in the States 6 months, and it's the hottest champagne right now that's on the market.
Really?
Sherline
Congratulations.
champagne. Sherline has been making champagne since 1788. We go back 6-7 generations of champagne makers, and I was just named Champagne Producer of the Year in New York.
Wow.
And
Congrats.
we have a 90-plus rated portfolio of champagnes, and I'm honored to, if you want to test it out while you're here this week, go to any of the MGM restaurants and ask for Sherline.
Wow.
And I hope you tweet about it, talk about
Absolutely.
it. And let me know
Are
how
you a
like it.
connoisseur? A champagne connoisseur? Are you an aficionado?
I was not.
Okay.
And the only time that I have really experienced champagne is when I was pouring it on my head.
That's right. Those 2 championship games. Vinnie Johnson, the microwave in
yeah.
Portland. Come on, what a great performer he was.
But I exited out of my popcorn company. I was one of the founders of Popcorn Indiana.
Okay.
So when you go in the store and you see that red bag of kettle corn, I was one of the partners and founders in that company. And now I'm in the Champagne spot. And we got over 200 acres in Champagne and in the Aubrey region. And we sit right next to the Seine River. And it's harvest season coming up, in 2 weeks. So I'll be going back over there again. But, the family of champagne makers that they have, they really are a family of growers. So the champagne really the grapes comes off the vine, they hit the family, the maker, and then we take it off the vineyard, put it on the boat, and put it right in the customer's mouth.
I'd be remiss if I don't ask you about your namesake. Have you talked to the young Isiah Thomas about the trade?
Actually, yesterday.
How's he handling it?
Emotionally, he's hurt.
He's hurt.
Emotionally, he's wounded. Now, from a basketball standpoint, he and Kyrie Irving, this would be great for both of them. They both will do well. But, it really was like a punch in the gut because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Kyrie was expecting the trade. He was prepared for it. And talking to Isiah the other night, now he's scrambling, trying to find out where his kids are going to go to school, trying to find a place to live. And it was just so unexpected for him. And the thing that really kind of, pulled at my heartstrings is that, he said he gave his heart and soul to the Celtics. He
did.
He gave him everything. And it's a business, and we all understand it's a business. But to have it happen in such a way for him, I think it really hurt him. And I think it's going to be difficult for him to trust again, to give that trust, that loyalty, that love to another organization. And I think the Cavaliers are definitely going to have to do some relationship mending to get him back to the point where he loves being where he's at.
Wow.
Because he's a small guy.
Yeah.
The thing that gets him over is his love and his passion.
Yeah.
And if those things are kind of, missing a little bit, it's going to be hard. So Cleveland's got some relationship
Interesting.
thing that they got to do to build that trust.
Wow, that is fascinating insight. Last thing before I let you go, and this has been a real treat for me. Thank you so much for the time.
You're welcome.
I believe the Knicks are going to make the playoffs next year. What do you say to Knicks fans
I think
right
they
now?
got
What
a
do you
shot.
think? Yeah?
I mean,
I don't know. Am I delusional? What do you think?
No, I mean, hey,
I like the draft pick, Ntilikina.
Porzingis is the real thing.
He is.
Right? And if Carmelo is there and he's, healthy of mind and everything else, they're good basketball team.
I'd keep Carmelo. I'd keep him. He's a legend.
Hey, all I can say.
He's still got some left.
Yeah, I mean, as basketball fans and former players, no one doubts Carmelo Anthony's basketball playing abilities.
Yes.
Now, can the relationship be mended with him and in the front office, that remains.
Well, one man is gone, and that's a good thing because I think now Scott Perry is very well liked from what I understand, so hopefully he can build that relationship. I remember also I'm Canadian, 1995 when you broke through that wall with the Raptors. That was great, those draft picks, Tracy McGrady, Damon Stoudemire, Mighty Mouse. We could go on and on, Isaiah, but you are out of time. I am out of time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Congratulations on this.
Thank you.
Honestly, I say this personally, great talking to you. Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. There he goes, Isiah Thomas, the Hall of Famer, the living legend, former Knicks president, and former Detroit Piston, the two-time NBA champion. How about that? Isiah Thomas stopping by.